Grieving spouses and those supporting them during their grief journey often find themselves immersed in a world of grief terminology that may have been unfamiliar to them before the loss. Suddenly, there are new words, phrases, and concepts that sometimes make us feel as though we're on an alien planet, trying to learn a new language and how to communicate. Learning and understanding grief terminology can be very important for both grieving spouses and for those who are standing with them, supporting them as they navigate the grief journey. To make it easier for grieving spouses and their supporters, learning the terminology associated with grief, the stages of grief, and the various coping mechanisms is very beneficial so that everyone can better comprehend the emotional and physical aspects of the grieving process. Hi, I'm Sissy and I'm Timothy's widow. I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's video in the grief terminology series. Today we're going to be looking at the word grief. What exactly is it, and how can I understand it to better support someone's grief journey? We're going to be looking at the word grief and explore exactly what the word means so that both grieving spouses and grief supporters have a better understanding. The word grief has origins in Old French and ultimately traces back to Latin. The word grief entered the English language from the Old French as gref or gref. I don't know. I don't speak Old French, which was the language spoken in medieval France from the 9th to the 14th century. The Old French term grief is derived from the Latin word gravis, which means heavy or weighty. In Latin, the word gravis was used to describe something that was physically heavy or burdensome, and over time, it also came to represent emotional heaviness or sorrow. The evolution of the word grief illustrates how the concept of heaviness or burden became associated with deep sadness or sorrow, leading to its use in today's English to describe intense emotional suffering experienced after the loss of a loved one, or in response to significant life changes. The dictionary describes grief as a noun, meaning intense sorrow or deep sadness, especially caused by the death of a loved one, a keen mental suffering or distress over affliction or loss, a profound and emotional response to bereavement or a significant personal loss. Grief is a natural and universal human emotion, experienced in response to significant life changes, such as the death of a loved one, the end of a meaningful relationship, or other major losses. Grief involves a range of emotions, thoughts, and behaviors as individuals process and come to terms with their feelings of loss and the impact it has on their lives. Grief is a powerful and complex emotion experienced by people when they go through a significant loss or bereavement. Grief is a natural response to a loss, and it is okay to feel all the emotions that come with it. If you are someone who is supporting a grieving spouse, you may be asking, how can I better understand someone's grief? It's difficult to understand something that you have not experienced, but here are a few key ideas to keep in mind. The process of grief can be different for everyone, and there is no right or wrong way to grieve. It's important to understand that grief is a natural response to loss, and it's okay to feel all the emotions that come with it. People who are grieving may need the support and understanding of others as they navigate through this challenging time. Grief is not something that just goes away quickly. It takes time and patience to heal. A lot of time, a lot of patience. It's a journey that involves ups and downs, where some days may feel a little better, and other days may feel very overwhelming. It's like losing a part of yourself because the person who has passed away played a significant role in the grieving spouse's life. Their absence leaves a void that can be hard to fill. The things that a couple used to do together, the memories that were shared, and the love, they all become a part of what is now being missed and being mourned. The word grief, understanding the meaning, the stages, the complexities of dealing with it and processing it, it's far more than I can cover in just one simple terminology video. For every grieving spouse, there will be similar challenges to others, and there will also be ones that are unique just to them. No matter what type of grief supporter you are to your grieving spouse, please remember that compassion, patience, and understanding will help you assist them in ways that you may have never imagined that you could. And for that grieving spouse, that person will have a special place for you in their heart. You will forever remain a very special person in ways that you may never understand, and yet know that it meant the world to that grieving spouse. I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's grief terminology video. If you found the content helpful or educational, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Go ahead and hit the notify bell so that you'll be aware of new content as it becomes available. You'll be helping support me and also help me grow my channel, and that means the world to me. Please go ahead and comment on any of my videos. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you like, dislike, and what you'd love to see in upcoming videos. I've been Sissy, and I'm wishing you light, hope, and love. Until the next time, my friend.